Hello and welcome, everybody. Another week has passed, which means it's time for more feedback, and I'm very excited because I want to hear what you guys have been cooking in this past week. So, without any further ado, let's get going. We're starting off with a Kelly B track. I know, new version. I like the sound of new version. Recently made a new drop idea for this track. We'll further build out into break and build up soon. Any feedback would be magnificent. All right, I'm on it. What is this profile picture? Interesting. All right, let's go. I think I remember this intro. Very dark, I like it. Damn! Jesus. Jesus. Fucking out. Okay, damn. The sound design quality is obviously excellent. I like how dry it is. It's really in your face. We've got this sort of like more, not ambient, but slightly more pushed back depth-wise into the mix, like little rattling things that are sort of building up into the next part of a sequence, which is really cool. I will say it's a lot of this one sound. I would kind of like to hear this B part be a little bit more of like give it a little more space. Because it still ends up being very similar to the sound before it. So we're not getting quite as much variation, but it is bouncy. I guess for me, it's I wrote down it's not even that it's a bit random, but it's a bit stagnant. Like the sounds that are in there are good, but there's not quite enough of them, and they don't really. Here again, it's like, I know I kind of talk about your drums frequently, but here the drums are not taking the sort of space here. Like they're very. Because if you have such a simple and robust bass, you have then a lot of room to play with your drums and do a lot of cool, weird stuff. And it doesn't have to all be like drums in the traditional sense. It can just be percussive little bass sounds, but they're not really here. So rhythmically, it ends up being a little too simple, and sound-wise, it ends up being a little bit too simple. There's not really like a melody that's keeping us engaged here. And this is cool, but it's not, doesn't feel like it. It just kind of feels like, okay, well, everything else is simple enough that it kind of works, but it's not really hitting for me. I think you need a different, more interesting melody. You could theoretically keep these notes, but I would also definitely make the envelope longer so that they feel less like weirdly short. Because it's like, and then you have just like the tail. Yeah, it feels a little too plucky for how few notes there are. But overall, I like where this idea is going. I think here's just about finding a little bit more meat, because the structure of this is good, but the meat is kind of thin. It's a little too lean. Bass, big bass, big lots of bass. But yeah, finish this. Build out with the break, and I think when you do the break, see if you can't find lean into this whole identity of this really like rumbly atonal sound. Find whatever that is and just develop it a little bit more, evolve it so that you also then have a little bit more of an idea of what your break stuff is supposed to build up to. And you might discover some sounds that will fit very well with the identity of the whole track, and you won't feel like you're sort of grasping around in the dark trying to figure out like, okay, well, what do I add to this now? When me and my bro collab, ooh, Dirty Octopus and Noir D, hell yeah. That's two of them, nice. Let's take a listen. Oh, it's a full song! Ooh. Crazy. Okay, the outro is maybe quite random though. But overall, I think this is interesting. I will say, for me, I don't listen to a lot of like really crazy neuro stuff, which is kind of what I think this is. I'm not the expert on what every subgenre is and where the lines are, but this is kind of where I think this fits. But it feels quite random to me. Like, it feels like there's a lot of sound happening, but not necessarily to the point of it being like really melodious. But like it just feels like it's so close to being like really, really cool. But there's just not like a cohesive direction for the drop. Like, everything is kind of just happening, and I think it's mostly just note choice. I think if all the notes that you've got going on here are a little more, they don't even need to be like nice sounding as long as they sound cohesive. Because right now it just sounds like everything is kind of doing its own thing and doesn't ever link up. Which is a bit different in the breaks. Where it feels like there's a sort of direction for it harmonically, but then it doesn't really ever come to anything in the drop. I mean, I will say it's not like far off, but it's not quite there. So I would say just play around with the drop patterns a bit and see if there isn't an alternate version you guys don't like better. That's a little bit, has a more singular identity and narrative that we can follow. Because like, this is cool. I really like this build. This ARP is great. I would like to hear a little bit more like glitching stuff, because that will fit then. Your break will be a little bit more similar to your drop. So it'll feel like they're a bit more in the same song, because right now it feels a bit too different. Because it sounds like there's the same ARP in there, but it's pitching quite aggressively. So it doesn't really sound like it's exactly the same notes. It sounds like it's like 20, 30, 40 cents off, at which point it kind of loses its resemblance to what you have in the break. Which you can use in a really cool way, but it's not quite hitting that for me. Or it feels like we're reshaping it. Honestly, if the break had like a screamy saw lead, it'd be so fire. True. That'd be crazy. Other than that, like, I think also like on just a technical level, I think the EQ profile is a bit flat, but that's kind of a sound of these like really intense genres. So you have very disco smile, because to me flat is not like flat across the EQ curve, which is like if you would mix to pink noise, that's flat. I mean just that like everything, it doesn't sound like it's completely forward and in your face. Like, it sounds like there's stuff boosted that's not really that exciting. Your mids aren't coming through, or at least the important frequencies aren't quite coming through as much as they need to. And there's not enough like focus on the really good parts of your sounds. For this track, I'm not even sure where it needs to be focused. I would just spend some time referencing some other songs and see like, okay, this feels like it should be like, oh, okay, this person has their basses with a little bit more of these like high mid frequencies around like 2K. Okay, let's boost that in our track. Okay, well, this track's got this, and these ARPs are way louder in this person's track, and then you'll be able to piece together something that's, I think, a lot more impressive on a mix level. Or it may just end up becoming to the point where you're like, it's not the best, but it's just okay. Just finish it, and that's it. Which is also a very, very valid response. A boring idea. Somehow I doubt that. I came to Nagoya to DJ for the first time in my life, but I made mistakes, couldn't play any songs, and the tears just wouldn't stop. To release the need for recognition I didn't get in Nagoya by going wild in the streets of Nagoya. Hey. Mistakes happen, but you will learn from them. I remember I DJ'd for many years. It can be really awkward. It can be really awkward. But I hope you had a good night regardless. Because it will get better. You will just figure it out at some point. Because there's like the stage fright component of it where you're just so nervous that you don't function properly regardless of how good or not good you are. And then there's also just the technical side of like, how good are you? How much muscle memory do you have in doing it? How well are you able to read the crowd and stuff like that? But you will get there. Trust me, you will get there. And you have really, really cool dance music. So it sucks it didn't work out this time, but it will work out for sure. Like, I believe. Oh my god. Damn. I like the samples in here too. Oh yeah! Nice. Damn. Okay, that was intense. I kind of like that there's no breaks though, really. You have this intro and then it's just energy the whole way down. It's really cool. I really like all of this like super bro steppy growl stuff as well. It's really, really cool. I think the only thing that struck me is like on the growls, you could have a little bit more clarity and air on them so that they really come through the whole mix, because you've got these really gritty basses, and it just makes the growls feel a little bit like filtered and kind of like not quite as punchy, but not just music feedback but live feedback. Yeah. Oh, it's true. Hyokan philosopher. We need someone to send like a SoundCloud with a meme of that now. Hyokan philosophizes. Okay, but back to the music. Like, I think that the snare as well is like really punchy. It could also be have a little bit more air to it, but It could be that the air on it is really resonant, and that's why you maybe got rid of some of it, or I don't know. Or maybe there's just too much high end on everything else and you can't tell. Overall, I think it's not at all in a bad place. I'm just picking out the last couple of things that I did here where I thought like, this could be a little different, or that could be a little different. But overall, I think it's actually a really, really cool idea. And the only sample that stuck out to me as like a little too overused was the Energy Made This One sample. It was like, I think I heard it one too many times. But I think you can keep it, just change one of the ideas. Just change one of the versions of it so it's very different processing, because then it'll be cool. Because then you're remixing the sample within the context of a track already. You're like, cool, I use the sample, then I'm going to reinvent the sample, and then I'm going to use the original of the sample again. Ends up being quite fun. Other than that, I'm not sure I heard anything else where I was like, ooh, like, this should be different. Like, it's not a boring idea. It's maybe like something that belongs to like a bygone era, if you care about that. But I know there's an audience of people who would still, or maybe not still, but are looking for this kind of stuff. Because music always comes in waves, right? We always have, you know, this sound, and then after 20, 25 years, the sound just comes back. Or even after 10 years, like you'll get new generations that will recycle that sound or reinvent that sound. And it happens in all art forms. Like everything comes and goes. Even with cars, for example, it's like, you know, there's a certain type of design language of like, okay, we have really curvy cars that look like this, where everything is super rounded or whatever. It's like the 90s cars. And then, okay, now we've been in a era of like, you know, everything is super minimal. And now, okay, now we're going more towards the era of like, okay, everything is now really maximal. And we're like, everything has a ton of detail and whatever. And it will just keep moving, and these things will come back. So, you know, you may put this track out, and could be that in 3 years' time, when this style comes back, people will find this then. Or people will find it now. Not trying to say I know what's going to happen, but... but yeah, I hope the feedback is kind of helpful. And good luck on the DJing. It will work out. And try to enjoy it. Because the more you enjoy it, the more everybody else is going to tap into your enjoyment of the thing. Project 2, Dream Minecraft Pork Update. I was playing with a friend and we made a block of pork, which was just a crafting grid full of pork. It was supposed to summon the pork licker, but it crashed our game 3 times and then permanently deleted my account. My only reaction to this was saying those who pork, and then my leg cramped and I woke up. Okay. Made only with stock samples and free VSTs. FLP. What is this? What? Wild. Alright, let's take a listen. I'm porking it. I'm porking it. Nice. I heard the Discord ping. Beep 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 beep. Beep-dee-dee-doo. Kill crates. Kiocrates? Now I Of course, it's René your carte. Okay, this is cool. Personally, I'm gonna throw this out there just because it's like my taste, and like I just really don't like these like super short, punchy Future Bound sleeves. I never did like them. Like it's just not even like a recent thing. It's just like it was never my style. But I think you've used it quite well. I think for me the chords, guys, we need to boost the chords. OG shit. OGs will understand. We need to boost the chords. I think the chords could have been louder because the harmony overall is a bit, I don't know, it's a bit lacking for me because the bass itself is not super tonally rich, and the lead is also not like super tonally rich in a way where you need to make space. Like you don't have like a bunch of leads with a bunch of different harmonics that are all playing with each other to create like a melody that feels like it needs a lot of room. So I think the chords definitely could have been more impactful, and maybe a counter melody would have been nice. And that's personally for me more so on the sound side, where if you're going to have this really short punchy sound, having then a more sustained lead, or an even pluckier acoustic sound like a kalimba or something that does its own little thing can be quite nice, even if as a like turnaround. So a variation at the end of your 8 bars can be quite nice, because it breaks up the whole track and gives like, I say break up not in the sense of like it breaks up into like squares, but it takes the ends of those things and makes them feel like they're connected to each other instead of just looping blocks. And you can do a lot of things in the sound department and like the way that your patterns are arranged so that your audience immediately understands on the first listen what's going on and they can follow along, and it's great. And compositionally, kind of everything remains really simple and effective and sound, but you also get that, you know, really nice variation in there that makes something really exciting. I thought your break was great too. A trumpet or like a saxophone could also have absolutely slapped underneath this lead. Maybe it would have sucked, but I feel like it would have slapped. No samples on my PC, but low passed saw. How was actually Discord? No samples on my PC. Oh, I see. So you were rendering it and then the Discord. Yeah, I see. That's happened to me before. I do think the kick could also have been punchier, but like, I'm not complaining. If you're making this all with stock samples, you have a limited amount. But in that case, what you could do is take a rim shot, shorten it, so you get only the very beginning of it, and then layer it on top of your kick. Because you can make a really, really punchy transient. Or you do like a little laser in 3x oscillator and, you know, make it like that. Or you take that sample, not sure which sampler would be best in FL, but basically you manually add more pitch envelope to the beginning of a sound, which I think you can even just do in the stock sampler. Let's take a look. If I open FL here, I think if I open, where is the sampler? Oh, it's probably called Fruity Sampler. Where? Oh my god. Actually, I'm just gonna take like kick. Okay, cool. My whole project is crashing already. It's a tragedy. I'm just gonna take any kick. Proceeds to not take any kick. Sure, we'll just take this kick. Yeah, but you can go into the envelope here and go into pitch, add the envelope to this, and then I increase the amount. Here we go. If you just increase the amount in here, and then you can have like 0 sustain, 0 release. You just want this initial thing. I don't know how long this is going to be. If I make this really extreme, you'll hear it. Right? So you want this, and we can probably turn down the amount. Just make it a bit punchier like this. So if I turn this off, you can hear how it's just... You've added that extra little bit of pitch. This is not a great example. You'd still want to add an extra transient onto it, but that's an idea of what you can do. Is you just want to like think about, okay, how am I gonna take what I have if you're doing stock stuff and like make the most out of it? Because at the end of the day, you're applying basically the same techniques. It doesn't really matter where it's coming from. There are good examples of like plugins and stuff that only exist in third-party certain tools that do the same things as other things that already exist, like certain EQs, dynamic EQs. If you think about like a Pro Q4 has features on it that make its uses and its results vastly better, and you know, shift the dynamic of how you even work in general, compared to like a stock plugin. But there are a lot of things that doesn't really matter if you use a stock plugin or a not stock plugin, or a stock sample or a not stock sample. You can get to within 80% the same result, which for most applications is enough. Yeah. Sorry, it's just random rant. But we also don't have any more tracks after this, at least right now. Let me check if anything else has come in. So, oh, okay, let's go. We got more bangers. Kunky and Orexo coming in to extend the feedback stream. Here we go. Let me check chat. I sadly gotta go now. I have to do pickup service for human. All right, mate. Yeah, have a good pickup. I remember when people used to use FL metronome as kick layer. That's kind of crazy. All right, let's take a listen to this. Bruh 87. Amazing. This is giving me good vibes. All right, let me skip forward. Nice build. Wow, nice. Whoa. Loving all the harmony. So nice. Really, really nice.
Feel the changes coming. Feel it in my soul.
Da, da, da.
Leave me in the darkness. Leave me in the cold. And you can hear the heartbeats fill the air. Moon is shining, stop and stare. By myself, but I don't care. 'Cause my sunrise will soon be here. I waited all night for the sunrise. Sky illuminating orange and red. I waited all night for the sunlight. Yeah, you're taking over my head. Waiting for the
Da, 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 da. Man, this is such a pretty track. Okay, so one, I think I really like these builds you've got. They're really simple but effective. My biggest feedback is just for the drop. So if I filter out everything on the low end, or like lows and mids, and I just play this, like, you hear how much just noise there is. Like, there's a lot of noise. Wait, I wanna... Like, all of this is like... Like, there's some of the like leads in that high end, but it is a lot of just white noise. And I can appreciate that white noise is a part of how you do the future bound sound design, but it is just way too much here. And it ends up drowning out really the chords and the lead. It gives you sonically, like, it adds loudness, but it's not really contributing to the song. So it gives you like the feeling of power, but not really that like oomph. So I would just take the white noise down and then just bring up your chords like in to compensate for that, because I think it's on the chords. I love that do 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 do. That's such a nice motif, and the sound it's on is really perfect as well for this genre. Yeah, I think if you just fix the white noise, everything else is honestly good. The kick could also here be more transient, but it wasn't an issue for me. Like, when I was listening to it, I wasn't like, oh, I can't hear the kick, because the kick is loud enough. It just would sound more professional if it was a bit punchier. So if that first part of the kick, that was coming through more clearly, it would be better. But in general, I think this is a really cool track. It's a shame that it's a year old though. Like, to be fair, I do this a lot though, where I'll have a song that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do something with it, and then just sits on my hard drive. I actually have one that I'm gonna put out today, because I actually meant to release it tomorrow, like yesterday, but whatever. Let's release it on Valentine's Day, why not? Orexo and Pulse, Don't Worry. Or Dudes Win. Wow, I haven't heard this vocal in a while. Don't worry, don't worry. Wow. Okay.
I'm sorry about me. I can be a bit complicated. So don't worry about me. I'm a little intoxicated. So don't you worry about me. I can carry myself home, yes, I got it on my own. So don't you worry about me. I won't let you take me home. Leave your number on my phone. Don't worry about me.
Nice. Whoa, that was cool. Okay. Overall, I think this is a really, really cool track. I actually think you used the vocal here also in a nice way. It is a fitting vocal. It's got the same issue that every spliced vocal will ever have for all of eternity, but who cares? For me, drop-wise, I think the drop is cool. I don't mind the fake-out. It fits. The sub felt a little bit underwhelming and a bit inconsistent, so I'm gonna just try boosting it and see what kind of results we get. Yeah. Yep, a little bit more sub compression I think would be good, because I think once you already start to compress it, just the sub, the kick I think is fine. You could maybe give it a little bit of a boost in that like 100 hertz, 80 hertz area on the kick, because that will make it a bit thumpier, which will make it feel nice once you link it up with a bit of a fatter sub. Because I think the sub itself, you can go one of two ways. Either compress it a whole lot more, or give it a little bit of saturation, so that, which will compress it anyway. But the saturation will just make it, give it extra harmonics that will pop through the mix. But I think here it's really just about the sub frequency coming through all the way. And then for me, the transition, I think it's here. I think there's like, it's a little too simple and a bit too flat. Like it's just like, it's like the breakdown ends and it's like, don't worry about me, and then it just kind of starts the next thing, but there's no connective tissue there. So I would add something to make this transition feel a little bit more like, okay, we've left this thing, we're building up to the next thing, and now we're gonna start really like kicking into high gear because we're going to like an insane climax. Speaking of this second climax, the second drop, it's too much switching for me. You never stay on anything for more than like 2 bars, which is not really enough time, especially when you're introducing completely new ideas and variations of stuff. So here we go from no drums to trap drums to 4/4 drums to back to trap drums to not really, and then it's 4/4. Okay. Yeah, so it's just too many different things at the same time. Pick one thing that you're like, I think this is out of all of these ideas, this is the best sounding one. And stick with it. So if you decide, hey, we're going to have the first 8 bars be a trap thing, cool. Or if you decide, hey, we're going to do a fake out, also cool. I think fake out into trap is okay. But I don't like it, to be honest, because it just feels like, okay, well, you're faking us out to do a different thing anyway. It sounds counterintuitive on paper, but personally, I like just, if we're going to get a switch up, like, you can do a fake out into a very dramatic switch up. I think that then it feels like it's really a payoff, because you're like, whoa, melodically something is really, really changing here. But when you're changing the drums, it becomes very track dependent. And here, I think you could do fake out into trap drums, but then don't switch to 4/4 to not 4/4 again. Like, I think wait for here to go back into 4/4, because I think at that point it's fine. Because it's like, cool, it's like something, it's a convention that people will understand on their first listen, and they'll be able to dance to. They'll understand, like, okay, the first part is trap, and then this next part is going back to 4/4. It's like a nice little intermittent switch up, but it comes across clearly then. Because right now this just feels just so messy. Will you be my feedback stream? Seth Hill samples plus color-based sounds. No, literally, I was just thinking about you, mate. Like, as soon as I heard that first drop, I was like, I feel like Toxic Wraith would have something to say about this, or like would at least like to hear this, because it sounds very like you. But yeah, I would definitely change this the way it's arranged, because the arrangement is quite confusing. And I've heard it on a couple of your tracks, which is fine. Everybody's got their thing that, like, you got to try it, and at some point you might find like a crazy set of switch ups that will work, where you do like 4 switch ups back to back to back to back, and it just hits. Check the drop above, you can see the idea. Wait. I'm just gonna pop it in here. Toxic Wraith. Amazing. Yeah, this song. This is so cool. Ba 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 boo, ba ba ba. Really catchy melody. Really catchy. Damn, my men's hit the 4,000. Let's go. Very happy that these numbers keep going up for you. Let me listen to your latest song. God damn. Whoa. That's nasty. Good. Bro, what are these NPC comments though? Nice. Good. Bye. Okay, at least this person's written like a real comment. Nice track. Nice. Good sound. Nice. Bro, what? Good. Oh, maybe it's just hype edit, like commenters. Oh man, that's so funny. And yes, I am skipping the breaks, but it's because I'm not giving feedback to it. The Toxic House. Hell yeah. Oh. Do you have any ideas you're gonna send in? Good. Yes, from the download. I see. Yo, Hans, what's going on, man? We in the house. The Toxic House race. Yeah, I can send. Bet. Let's go. Nah. Don't mind me just opening my 3DS. Not much. Hey, sometimes it's a good thing. Do 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 do. Let me see if I have anything to send. Hell yeah. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Bong bong bong. Do 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 do. Boo boo. Let's go. The favorite viewer. Toxic Wraith make you sweat V2. Let's go.
Baby, I'ma make you sweat. I know how to show you things you won't forget. Thinking on me, you ain't seen nothing yet. If you wanna dance with me, I'll make you sweat, 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 sweat,
Whoa. Whoa. Nice transition.
Baby, I'ma make you sweat. I know how to show you things you won't forget. Thinking on me, you ain't seen nothing yet. If you wanna dance with me, I'll make you sweat. Sweat.
Wow. It's such an interesting setup. I personally, it is a little hard to groove to. He's just vocal sample in a house song recently. Splice my Lord and Savior. Follow up for Dial Tone. Gotcha. I think what might make this a little less of like because my issue is like I kind of was like, oh, I don't know how I don't feel like I got set up for it completely. And I think the key here is to do it in the build-up drums. I would trail your build-up drums, slow them down into triplets. It could also just suck, and it's just like weird and awkward. But I think if you can get it to like trail off into triplets, these are triplets, right? Or am I like losing my mind? Also, Sucker Punch is out today. I got an email about it from DistroKid. I got an email. It's like, yeah, this song you pre-saved is out now. I was like, oh, I forgot I pre-saved that. Hell yeah. But yeah, Toxic. Are these triplets or am I tweaking? Because if whatever it is, like if it is triplets and I'm not losing my mind, I would just slow this so that you get that. Because I think then you'll get that sort of that excitement of like, whoa, that's weird, and then the drop comes and you're like, that's why it was weird. Okay, I get it now. I also do wonder if the hats maybe could be a bit different, like on some different rhythms, to set up for the triplets a bit more, because they could be really swung, so that the triplets feel a little less awkward. Because to me, they feel awkward, but also, I don't know. Triplets, like there are a few bars of the lead that are triplets. Okay, because for some reason they read to me like triplets, and I don't know why. I guess they're not. I would. Okay, if they're not triplets, I would try playing a bit with the note lengths. Because I think one thing as well is like you can get so much difference out of like the rhythm, and you'll know this, but like I'm just gonna say the whole thought once I've started it. If you play around with how long the notes are in between, you're going to get a completely different feeling melody. So I would maybe see if like playing around with the note lengths, not of all of the notes, but just of some of them. So you like gear it up so you're like da 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 da, because that could be different than like da 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 da. Like right now it just feels like da 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 da. Is a little too stagnant and repetitive, where it says da 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 da. Which, to be fair, I might have been shifting that note around a little bit, so it ends up being not the same rhythm. But play around with it a bit, because right now it doesn't quite hit. But I can tell that it's there. Oh my god, Green Dragon is back. Holy. The Lost Sun. I also delayed all the leads by like 40 cents or something. What? That might explain it. Because it just feels like... Wait, when you say 40 cents, like 40 milliseconds, or 40 like pitch wise? Yeah, I meant the positions. I don't have my new laptop. That's why I also school, but that's such a recurring excuse. Rex was like, yo, what the fuck? What is happening in here? Let me drag this in here. But yeah, it's a cool track, Toxic. Like really, like everything you're doing at this point is super professional sounding. Okay, next up, drum pattern of doom and despair. Needs a vocal, but I haven't had time to work on that yet, so very work in progress. Hell yeah. Let's listen to the drum pattern of doom and despair. Doom and despair is about to be how I describe my motivation after I listen to these songs. Wow. Okay, super cool. I think here. I think this little do-do-do-do-do-do is maybe too many notes. But it's maybe like actually here. And then honestly you need a space there. And then it can go like da 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 da, or however that riff goes. Yeah, it's like a little too like dense melodically here. I think the drum pattern is cool. This whole like extra thing just takes us and like takes it to a whole different level. Because I think this, it's giving a little bit of like offshoot, like demos that didn't make the like Super Mario 3D like soundtrack. I don't know why that's where my brain is going. Actually, I know why that's where my brain is going. It's because I've been playing Ocarina of Time for the last 2 days. But then it goes to this, and then all of a sudden it just like takes all of that and like sinks it into this like really cool, unique identity, which I really fuck with. Yeah, I just chopped up like 6 different sax samples and patched them all together. Damn, okay. Main lobby music, true. Green Dragon is on that, what's the word? On this shit. Like, why are we staying underground? This is mainstream worthy for sure. Selection lobby thing. I mean, it depends on the game. I think it really depends on the game. Because for some games, this would be like great. Yeah, like pre-lobby music. Where it's like, cool, we're waiting for the game to load. It needs vocals so badly because it doesn't really have a theme or identity yet. I mean, it would benefit a lot from a vocal, for sure. Give it like some 50s style vocals. On here, it's going to absolutely slap. Although, funnily enough, I mean, obviously, I think you want to do your own vocals, but I think, in theory, a female vocal would sound really good on this. Somebody with like that sultry, old school R&B voice would go so hard over this track. And like a little bit of choir as well, like gospel choir. Ooh, could go hard. Maybe I'll hit up Ella Kent. I don't know who that is, but yeah, go for it. Slapping a vocal on it might clash with each other. True, but I meant more so like a nice proper vocal, not like a pre-recorded thing made specifically for this track. I mean, if you agree with it, like, I don't know, the identity of it just, like... Oh, wait, I didn't read your previous message, Green Dragon. Now I get what you were saying. Yeah, you don't want it to mix with the sax. I was more so thinking, like, some ad-libs over here. Like, just like, do some fun stuff, like, vocal here, and then here it can be, like, much more, like... chill background vocals and let the sax take over. Like, if you're gonna do vocals on that part, it should be like a single very robust hook or like little melody that you can just have repeat and like even chop up maybe, so that it doesn't really mess with the sax, but it like adds an extra layer to the track overall. And also, like, you have one melody that's repeating over and over again, it just gets super satisfying and wonderful. Main kind of vocal, the more empty part, chill background stuff with the sex. Yep. Indeed. You already know. I don't gotta tell you. You know what you're doing. You got this all in the bag. Alright, well, with that being said, actually, while we're here, I'm gonna make this song public, because I've been meaning to anyway. If you go on my SoundCloud now, you will find a song that, like, I think I've shown you guys a bunch of... You guys have probably heard this song way too many times anyway. But, it's here now. Yeah. Let me make it public, though. Cool. That's there. Hell yeah. So... like and subscribe. I meant to release that ages ago. But it's been sitting there ready for basically a year. Actually, more than a year at this point. But I remastered it so it doesn't sound quite so bad as it did before. I can just never play the whole track, I guess. I don't know. What am I saying? I'm like losing my mind. Anyway, it's there. I hope you guys like it. Yeah, I'll probably release another song in March, because there's another one that's finished that, like, I've been meaning to get off my hard drive for a while now, but I want to release it just before my birthday. So yeah, that's the plan. Yeah. 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 Well, that is all the demos we got. So, with that being said, I'm going to end the stream here. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Oh, wait. I have one finished sitting here for like a month. It's the trap one I showed a while back. Not expecting you to remember. I think I do, though. What's stopping you from releasing it? You scared. You scared. I don't know if I can find the SoundCloud link for it. That's alright. You can always send it to me privately as well. Is it unfinished mixing? I see. And, yeah, I don't know. No, I get that. I fully get that. Sometimes you just sit there and you're like, something is telling me not to. And I don't understand what it is. I think it's especially the more you work on something, the more you're like invested in it. And then the idea of just putting it out there and not like having something more for it, like some big result for all of that work, feels really terrible. Because you're like, what the hell did I do all this for? Aside from, yeah, finishing it and I did it for myself and all of this. We can say that on social media. Like, if we're being honest about it, like, we want it to feel like the work was really impactful and that it, like, it gives you that, like, thing. And you're kind of holding out on it. Because, like, okay, well, I've done all this work already. If I wait, maybe some opportunity is going to present itself. And it could. Yeah, this probably was distribution and record labels. Like, that's why I made the decision to give up. Because I don't want to deal with all that shit. And, I'm fortunate in that I'm no longer trying to make this my career. So I get to just do this for fun. That was the other reason why I was like, let me just get this out there, because if it's all for fun anyway, why am I worrying about keeping it on my hard drive? Like, why am I not just posting it? So that when somebody asks me, what music do you make? I don't have to show them 5-year-old music on my SoundCloud. It can at least be something that I made recently. I'm back. Hi, back. What did I miss? You missed me putting out a track that's been sitting finished for a year. So that's nice. Now we're just chatting about releasing stuff. It's actually great. You're like the embodiment of, like, I think not this problem. You'll always have like a proper schedule. There's like always new music coming out. It's always like that. It's just so tough sometimes. You're like, man, like you care so much, and the more you care, the more fucked you are. And then you watch people who care less succeed. And you're like, well, okay, I cared less, and I still got fucked for it. Also, the recognition from the other artists. Kind of had trouble scheduling stuff right after the album release. That's fair. I think it's also so much music then that you don't want to like overload the whole thing. Like I think after an album, you're kind of in a predicament because like, okay, well I just dropped all of this music, and now scheduling wise, technically I should keep releasing music, but also like it doesn't make any sense to right now. So you're fucked if you do and fucked if you don't. Which is, I think, why we see so few albums. And I think albums are really... They're awkward. Because now it feels like they only work for big artists or artists that have, like, really conventional dynamic setup. Where they have a big label that spends a lot of money promoting their music and everybody knows about the album. It gets nominated for a bunch of awards because you know people and, you know... It's of a high enough quality that it can be considered. You know, like I'm trying to think of like the last albums I've actually thought of. Because like, for example, recently the Joji album. Joji's a perfect album artist because Joji will come out of the woodwork, be like, hey guys, an album's coming out, enjoy it, cool. And then it's going to disappear for another 3 years. And there's 2 singles, 3 singles maybe before the album comes out, and then it's just like boom, here's the other 15 whatever tracks, and that's it, and then they just disappear. Most of us aren't Jojis, so it's kind of weird. Can we read? By my first half of the year kind of planned out by now. That's nice. Self promo between each other who don't. Wait. Like people just promo their own stuff, and then communities and groups that self-promo between each other who don't look like they won't support others. Yeah, Green Dragon, I'm not sure I understand. Because what I'm understanding from that is like, I think what you were saying is basically that like communities don't necessarily support each other. You've got like that small group of artists that are helping each other, and then beyond that, there's not really much else. Or am I misunderstanding? That's why I never want to join support groups again. Yeah, it's really awkward. It was forced for me. Mm-hmm. Yep. No, I do not. Yeah, those communities are so awkward. Like, I stopped joining those, like, a couple years ago. I mean, maybe it's ironic because I have my own Discord server and whatever, so technically it feels like, oh, I'm creating a community, but, like, it's not really. It's just me doing my own thing. Yeah, if I want to comment, share, and support it, well, that's exactly it. I don't like the idea that, like, oh, well, we are all supposed to whatever. It's like, do we all believe about the same thing? Yeah? Then cool. That's why I think these support communities are always at their best in the very beginning when it's all small and everybody's on the same page. And as soon as you try to grow it, it immediately becomes this, like, weird corpo feeling thing because it doesn't scale well. It only scales well if everything is under a real identity. Like a real cohesive identity of like, we're all fans of this artist, or we're all whatever, this person. We're all fucking, I don't know, Malaysian artists who meet up at local events or whatever, right? Like, it then starts to feel a little bit more like there's a real support group. That's why I think if you are looking for stuff, go find local people. Like, find the real people, because there's just a lot more to do as well when you're like, cool, we can help each other to do events. We can help each other to do stuff. It was never for me. I mean, it's partially just where I live. I don't like where I live. So I'm like, why would I try to invest myself in the local scene here that I don't like? Doesn't make any sense. But I think it's a much better situation than like online support groups. Maybe I've done it in the past by accident, but not anymore. I have one person sending me DMs, and it infuriates me how they only DM me when they want the support. Yep. True. Yo, what's up, Dalek? I'd rather someone spams me IDs for feedback than self-promo. Truly. I think it's always the case where, and this will continue to be the case, where there's like just a certain subset of people that will always, they're like, oh, they have to make it work. And so their idea is like, cool, I'm just going to text every single person that I can possibly find the username of and be like, support my track. This is like the same people that go into like big artists like songs, and they'll be like, guys, listen to my new song. Like, I'm sure there's a couple people for whom that's worked, but at the end of the day, it just ends up being spam. And then it's kind of hard because you're like, how do I tell this person that they're being crazy without feeling like a cunt? Because at the end of the day, that's what's going on. It's like somebody's like sending me stuff that I don't want to see, but also I don't want to like not be supportive of the, hey, like, I get it, you're an artist. We all want success and to find our audience or whatever. This person just doesn't understand what that means. They just want a play, and they don't understand that they're not looking for that play in the right place. Sometimes when y'all don't make it obvious, you really get confused. Is Atlas Dean Dalek? Atlas Dean, are you Dalek? Dalek, are you Atlas Dean? Is that the real Atlas Dean? But, yeah. I didn't think that's where the stream was going to go. Just crashing out about how awkward the industry is. I might just be Atlas Dean. The propaganda is real. I'm making a remix for Haze Card. Let's go. Hell yeah. Well, I'm surprised you haven't sent it in for feedback. Oh, wait, maybe you did one time. I think you did. I think you sent it in some time ago. It was a while, though. I guess if you haven't touched it since then, it's fair. You know, to go back to this topic as well, I think one of the other issues that presents itself is, like, you have artists who want, we'll say loosely, success, but they don't understand that they're looking for, like, you need the support of other artists, right? You want to expand your network, but they're only thinking about getting. This is where, to me, like, I always hated playing this game because it didn't make any sense to me. I was like, hey, I want to build a connection with you. And yeah, there's like a certain level of like, hey, we're sharing knowledge, right? I'm going to give you something, you're going to give me something. Like, it's going to be an exchange, which is great. It benefits both of us, which is awesome. We all want to succeed. And I think everybody in this chat wants to see other artists succeed as well. You know, because a rising tide lifts all ships. All of them will go up. That's what we want. And then you have this one motherfucker who's just yelling at maximum volume, being like, give me shit, give me shit, give me shit. And it's like, well, you want me to like give you my fish so that then you can go on the market and sell the fish that I gave you at a price so that I can buy my fish back from you. You know, like, I mean, it doesn't translate one to one, but like, you know, you get the idea. Or it's like, So if I help you, I get nothing other than I've exchanged the time that I could have been spending working on my own shit, doing anything else to help you out. And then when I need something, it's like, oh, well, I'm busy, or like, oh, well, oh, yeah. And it's like you get like the cheapest exchange of help. And that's not really worth anything. Which is why I just like... The situation is really, really unfortunate. Because you feel like you get nothing. You feel shit about it because you're like, okay, well, I should want to support people. But also, I feel like I haven't really done anything. Like, Alexander Merlin, when he was spamming TikTok to get Told You So remix released. I don't know who that is. But that sounds like a story that's happened quite a few times. Dang, what sparked this? I think Green Dragon brought it up about like support communities and how it feels quite shit to be in artist online support communities. Like, oh, we're all gonna help each other, and it's like, at the same time, I also want to be like, we and what audience? Because that's the other thing is like, everybody's talking about like, oh, we're gonna support each other, and like, what is unfortunate about the artist industry is that for as much as I can build an audience, for example, and I could be like, cool, let's say I have 100,000 followers, right? And I like broadcast to my 100,000 followers, go follow Green Dragon, he's awesome and he's amazing, right? If I make tropical house music and Green Dragon is out here making bro step, there will be some small overlap of people. First of all, you're just going to lose a lot of people because a lot of people are going to be like, I don't know who that is. I have no idea why I should go and do that. So you're already going to lose 75% of people from the get-go who are not going to see it, going to pass by and be like, I don't know what that is, whatever. It's not what I follow this guy for. I'm just going to ignore it. Then of this small percentage of people, they're going to go and they're going to be like, well, what the fuck is this? I don't care about this. Like, boom. And then there's like, of the, maybe 2,000 people who maybe might have seen it, go over and they're like, maybe, I guess this is fine. Like, some of them are going to take some action. Some of them are going to follow Green Dragon, or some of them are going to listen to a few of his tracks, and a few of them are going to like it, and it could be good. You'll get like 40 fans out of my audience, but it's just like, I'm not saying that doesn't matter, but it defies a bit the expectations, and there's like, it's not as simple as like, oh, I'm just going to tell everybody that likes my stuff to go like your stuff. Because at the end of the day, the audiences are looking for a particular thing out of you, right? People don't follow you because you're so awesome as a human being. Like, they don't know you personally. They follow you for your content. You follow people for a format of stuff that they make, whether that's their music, whether that's their Instagram format where they have 700 episodes of making a sandwich. Like, there's literally a dude on TikTok whose entire brand is like, I make a list of different ingredients and then I roll a dice and I make roll Dungeons and Dragons dice and I make a sandwich every day. And that's the format that this guy makes. It's just like, I'm going to build a sandwich with dice, and if that guy tomorrow started posting future bounce music, nobody would care. Everybody would scroll past it. Zero traction. Okay, let me read chat. That. It's never like that. Support between artists isn't enough. You need fans that aren't artists. Well, yeah, because it's like, of the available audience, it's like the tiniest amount of them are artists that you're gonna reach and be able to talk to. Thing is, the artists are like the people who are gonna find you first. That's always the case, right? And that has advantages, right? If you wanted to get into a certain label, or you wanted to do work that isn't necessarily like social media side, if you wanted to, be someone's songwriter, you only need to find the artists. Only the artists need to discover you, because they're the ones who are going to be like the most tapped in to that like the people who are like super new and super niche. But if you want to be a big artist, other artists can only help you so much. You have to make, like, you can collab with other artists, right? That's cool, but you still have to make stuff. You can't just like, there's no like free support. It's hard to find the odds. Yep. If it wasn't hard, everybody would do it. Everybody would have done it. We wouldn't even be talking about it. Only we have been able to grow through live shows. The online space is so hard to do anything. Yep. That's what I was saying before about local shows. Because the thing is, automatically, the fact that you're a local artist means that you're going to be able to capture a very real amount of people that are in your local area who are interested in the same stuff you do, who will care about you just because you're in the same city. They're like, oh, that's my guy. This guy does this thing. I think it's cool. I want to support them, knowing that maybe they aren't there yet, right? Or maybe I already love what they do, but you don't get to find that out until you go to their show and you're like, wow, that was a great show. I'm going to follow this band now. I'm going to buy a piece of their merch, right? Which just makes such a huge difference. You need so much more. You need to do so much more to prove yourself to somebody online. And somebody online is, even if they are theoretically as invested as somebody who goes to your live show, the person who goes to your live show probably spent some money to go to your live show and will be able to go to your next live show in the same area. So they're just a much more valuable fan on a money level, because we do need money. You got to get some level of money. You got to get some level of investment. And you've also given them an experience that's very difficult to deliver online. That's what the content is for. You need the content to deliver the experience of like, I'm giving you something really valuable, right? I think my show 2 weeks ago did a lot for me. Hell yeah. I really hope it did. I saw, is that the one in Taiwan? Because I saw a picture of you with a bunch of other people. I was like, damn, like it's so exciting to see for you that that's like happening. That like the size of the crowd is slowly growing and growing and growing and growing. Yeah, in Taipei. In Taipei. Gotcha. Awesome. Yeah. I would encourage you, like, keep doing that. You probably don't need me to tell you that, but sure, you can link the video. I don't know if we'll watch it right now, but I'm gonna become a React streamer, guys. Yeah. Just chatting. Just chatting. Bomba. But I mean, that's the good stuff. I've been doing like basement stuff. It's so fun to host raves like that. Hell yeah. That's really cool. Have you recorded any of them? Because that's the other thing about live shows, is they make fantastic content. They make really, really great content. Feedback on Toxic Raid set. Yeah, the cool thing about like doing events is you can record them, and you do like four or five different things. One, it's just a piece of content that you can post, but you don't need to do anything else for, because you're going to do it for all the audience there anyway. Second, if it's a good live show and it's decently recorded, it's proof to your next booker. Hey, by the way, here's this cool live show I did. Look at the crowd. Look how the reactions were. I can entertain people for an hour-long set, and they're going to really enjoy it, and they're going to want to come back. And maybe there's people that are going to want to come just because I'm here. Bam. Okay. So it helps you for your next bookings, because you've got proof of your skill. Obviously, if your live set sucks, it's not going to help you that much, right? Other than, I can do it, but it's not good. But whatever. We're going to go on the assumption that Bowtie is good, because Bowtie is cool. The ASP fire. We got some videos out of it. For the next one, we have a professional video out. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. And I think the trick with the live shows as well is always like invest a little bit more. Expect not to get something out of it right now, because it's gonna hurt. But especially if the live show is good and you feel like you've done put in a lot of energy to make the live show good, you have a feeling, especially after doing it a couple times, that the crowd is going to be good. Invest in getting it nicely recorded, because a whole live show, you can make so much content out of it. You can make Spotify canvases out of it. You can make music videos just out of this live show. You've got cool like little reaction clips of like, here's the crowd reacting to my music. You can take the same live show and make like easily 50 different pieces of content out of it without really stretching yourself, without making it like cringe. Ask your friends to record more relatable POVs too. Yep. Take videos on your phone of the same live show, because professional video could be AI. The really shitty video of my friend slamming a shot while I play my new ID or whatever, and like, you know, everybody's having a good time, and it's like all really shaky cam or whatever. Clearly not AI. It's relatable. I feel like, oh wow, this whole vibe is really cool. Who is this person? I want to see more of this in my feed, right? Now, it's not going to be 99% of the people maybe who see your show or maybe come across one of your videos, but you pick up a little bit here, 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 and then all of a sudden it builds. Don't give AI ideas. No, I'm saying it was less so to the point of like make AI videos. My point is that if you record stuff on your phone, it removes the thought that, is this an AI video crossing my feed, because it's of a specific kind of quality that like you can immediately discount it being AI, which immediately opens people up to be like, oh, this is a real person, this is a real thing that's happening. Oh no, okay, now I understand what you mean. Yeah. At some point we will get to a point where AI is like able to do really normal shitty cam POVs and it looks authentic, and then we'll have to do something else. My thoughts on the AI stuff is like the things that people will do as artists will always be whatever the AI can't do or doesn't do, or is unnatural for it to do, expensive for it to do, because it's like, cool, it can't do this, so we're going to do that, because that's how you know that it's me and not an AI. And right now it's like, record stuff with your phone, record stuff on your fucking DS, whatever you got to do. I think there was a larger point I was building up to, but like, yeah. Oh, what I was just going to say is like, don't be afraid to invest in that type of stuff, especially for events. Events are really, really great for marketing because the people are real. The experience is very concrete. And it's very easy to fake stuff online, or not even to fake stuff, but it's hard to like share like, hey, my music matters. You should listen to my stuff. My stuff is going to give you this experience. Whereas if you show like a whole crowd that's like loving it, and it's like, this is the experience that this entire crowd had to my music, bam, instantly like way more convincing of a piece of content or an experience. It's like, you should follow my music because like this is the type of experiences that I'm promising you. So marketing is hard. Marketing is really hard. And it's easy for me to be like, oh, you guys should do this when I'm not doing any of it. At the end of the day, I kind of just decided it wasn't worth it for this project. Because none of it is like really authentic to me. It's just very easy for me to have done my research and pick it out and be like, this stuff works, because you can just look at it and see what works for other people and identify the patterns. But it's very difficult to bring it out of yourself. KillCon social media guru when? Can you imagine? KillCon social media services? I think it was fucking Afkar who was like, oh yeah, we got Killcrates up in here. Socrates KillCon. philosopher, social media guru, Kyokan Lopez. I'm gonna sell you financial planning as well. You should make those kind of videos for rage bait. That would be kind of funny. But I'm not good at rage baiting, to be honest. Like I'm just really not good at it. I wish I was, but I'm not. And I don't know that that's an audience I would like to have. If I sent a song and we're still doing feedback, we can still do feedback. I don't mind. That's the other thing as well. The nice thing about live shows is you pick up a really nice audience. Because you get an audience of people who are interested in live events. That's the other thing is like whatever content you make, you're going to attract a certain type of person, and there's just certain demographics of people who are more supportive. Which is why you can have artists like David Guetta, where it's like, for me, I don't care about, you know, XYZ techno artists' music because I'm not gonna go to their show. Yeah. I'm not going to go to the show because it's not my thing. But there's a bunch of people who are like, their thing is like, I want to go to a techno rave. And so I'm going to follow artists who are putting out content about their crazy raves that they're throwing or DJing at. Because that's the experience I'm looking for. So that's an interesting thing about smaller artists is sometimes they don't think about the sort of like second and third order effects that they're looking for out of their music, which is like, okay, I can attract a fan, but what kind of fan do I want? And that's mostly like, oh, what's up, Arnash? Welcome back. Yeah, it has been a while. But yeah, you're gonna bring in different types of people through the door depending on what you create. And I think most of the time with small artists, you have the biggest thing is not understanding like, oh, this is the experience I'm offering, this is my identity as an artist, this is what my brand is about. It does come down to brand, because if you don't know what your brand is about, you can't make content that fits your brand intentionally. You can do it by accident. There's definitely artists who have accidentally found their thing and then just ridden the wave. But if you don't, you just have to spend time thinking about like, what's my thing? Like, yeah, there's something else that I'm working on that like, it's so interesting. It's so different from any of the other creative stuff I have going on, because it's like very clear from the onset what the identity of the thing is. And it makes all of the work so much easier on it, because it's like, oh, okay, cool. I know exactly the type of person I'm trying to attract, the type of things that might work for this. Like, there's still a lot of work to do in trialing and erroring stuff. But with Kyokan, I'm like, I don't know what this is about. This is just me, like, having fun making music. And I'm going to leave it like that. It should be for fun now. I just want to enjoy making stuff and doing EDM shit. Why not? Wait, let me open this. Bet we got 2 more IDs to listen to. Going back to the actual reason we're here on stream, not just me yapping. But I mean, I appreciate you guys hanging around to listen to me yap. I like yapping a lot, if you haven't noticed. All right, Bones by ASP, just uploaded as well. Nice. Feedback after one-man podcast. Yep. Technically, this is fake, so I should delete this. Ooh. That clap is so satisfying.
Your bones will.
It's so interesting. Now that I know that you do these like basement raves, I kind of hear like I can hear it so much now. I can see like that identity coming through in this because it feels super grungy and like underground in like a physical sense. It's like this hidden, locked away sound that's like coming out. It's super cool. I've always liked your sound. It's really dark and like I love this focus on just like really subby, bassy sounds. Mixed with really cool percussion. This feels a little bit empty. It feels like it needs some movement because I'm imagining now, like if I was gonna play this live, it would feel a little bit too stagnant. It needs a little bit of like some movement, so you can either have like a shuffling little shaker or something. But I think the synths need to have more flanging and movement frequency-wise. Like that. Should be like just some movement. Doesn't need to be insane or like overwhelming, but enough that you feel like there's some constant movement going on here. Because it'll also make these sort of these these like delays and stuff feel a lot better. And it will set this up then a little bit more because it'll be less of a jump. Ever since you told me about Born, I take so much inspiration. I mean, that's a good place to take inspiration from. Actually, since you said it, I'm gonna open a Born track. Whoa. Drums are really, really crisp on this as well. But if you listen to like a Born thing, one, there's a vocal. Hat, like even if you go sub, so it's very like, but even like all of these, there's automations on these, right? Filters moving, hat, sub, very alive sound that has a lot of movement in it automatically. Let me pick out another track. There's one in particular that I'm thinking of. Oh, this is from UKF. I want to hear. Where is Barn? Oh my god. Alright, here we go. I was trying to find one particular song. Is it this one? Very much focused on just like keeping up the energy and not letting it ever die. This one. Now there's another one I'm thinking of, but that doesn't really matter. Eclipse sound pack fragments, best drum samples ever. Hat plus vocal bed plus hook plus distant automated sub plus Reese plus automated lead that has movement as well. Yep. Wish I could get fragments. Control is very quintessential Born. Wait. Yeah, true. Like, even here, if you listen to the difference here between this, hat, great. There's just way more vibrato here. Here there's just a more like potent like melody that's like dum 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 dum. Has that like delay that's constantly pinging you. So it's also giving a sense of rhythm. So this is good. Like I can hear where you're taking the inspiration. It's just like the execution of it needs like a little bit more. And I think that's like mostly in here with the stuff you have, like a processing thing. Or you'd have to change out the elements to mimic more of what Born's already doing. But I think it's okay for you to find your own style. Do. Just sent one in. We all right. Dilly Dalek. Oh no. Oh, it's so cooked. But other than that, like mixing wise, like there's nothing in here for me to say. Nothing I have to say, it's just so good. Like you've nailed the drop, it's just so good. Alright, I think we're going into a very different vibe. This looks like it's going to be very beautiful, flavorful, and fantastic. Aim is to add depth, doesn't need to be Reese. Yeah, I'm a big Reese hater. You guys know this. Like glitches or something texture-wise, yep. Oh, I haven't heard this one! Fuck! Oh, okay. Next one's gonna be crazy. Wow. What? Whoa. Oh, this is so nice. Wow, that's so good. That's so good. I really like this. It feels like you've taken all of the strongest elements of your songwriting and like just let them breathe and like focusing everything around doing that. Which I mean, maybe you do that anyways in all of your previous stuff you sent, but this just feels like another level up in terms of refining that approach. Super nice. Love this. so good, so good here. I will say for me, the mix feels very like weirdly dense and flat, and I think I've got a couple of reasons that you might want to look at in your mix about why that is. I can understand if maybe you were like, cool, I composed this, I just rushed it, never mixed it. Might be the case, but when you do get to your mix, because I think you can make the mix part of your process if you get efficient at it. One is I think you got to be aware of what's getting reverb and how much reverb it's getting. Because especially here, everything has a good amount of reverb on it. I'm going to turn this up a little bit. Everything is kind of stacked on top of each other. Everything's got some reverb. It's got like a little bit of this. And so nothing is really distinctly far in the back or distinctly far in the front. So everything ends up kind of clumped together in terms of the depth. If you think about it like X, Y, and then Z, Z being like the distance between you and me, everything is kind of in here. Whereas what you really want is you want like, okay, the strings are up here, and then like this ARP thing is like maybe to the side, but it's like, you know, a little further back. And then this bass thing is going to be also like more up front, right? Like there's a chart that describes this in much more detail, but that feels like for me it's a bit lacking. Like it hasn't been quite thought of yet, like how far forward or back is this going to be? Like when people say like, oh wow, this is like in your face, and I said this a couple times a stream. We had some songs that are like DMB that are like really in your face. It's because there's no reverb. There's nothing that's making it feel like it's far away from you or like far back in the room. This track, for example, great example of like everything is super in your face. Here, you want much more of you want more depth. You just want all your elements to feel like they have their own space in the mix. Sorry, I'm talking at like a million miles a minute. Used to be super into creating when I stopped, but I stopped when I started college. It's crazy how many crazy creators there are these days. Truly, it is super crazy. Geometry Dash has always had like just insane people working on it. The other thing I would say is like the drop. It's a little too much. It's a little too much bass, because here the bass is like in your face now, and all of a sudden everything else is like far away back there. Just feels like it's very far away, and it feels like for a drop you kind of want everything a little bit more up front and a bit more controlled. But the bass itself is good. I just think it's a bit too loud, so I would take it down a notch. Maybe make it a bit softer, so that you have, so it matches a bit more how soft all of the other elements are. Although here it's not really an issue. I like the width here. This is nice. Yeah, I think those are my main comments. I think if you figure out the reverb stuff and controlling your reverb a bit more deliberately, it'll make a big difference. And delays and stuff, because delays also contribute to this depth issue. Okay. Quincy Triumphant Type V2. The Atlas Dean propaganda is continuing. ASMR goes crazy, kill. What you talking about? What you talking about? What ASMR? What do you mean? Starts off right away? Okay, but I crack my back, prepare my body for the sanctimonious joy I'm about to experience. Alright. Atlas Dean beat, let's take a listen. love that end sound too. Oh man, I love the bass on this. The bass is so good. It's so old school, and it fits the modern production really well. Funnily enough, you're feeding exactly into what I was talking about like an hour ago, which is about how on Walkus's track, I was talking about how like sounds come back and genres come back in waves. Everything always kind of like has its time, disappears for a while, and then the next generation of people discover something, or it gets rediscovered by the people who enjoyed it previously. They get their appetite back for it. And I feel like this is exactly it, where it's like, cool, the sound has happened, gone, come back, and now it feels like you're kind of finding your own way back to it, and you're going to bring it to a whole new generation of people who didn't know that they would enjoy the sound. And it's obviously going to be made your own, but it's so cool. Thanks for the feedback. No problem, mate. No problem at all. Okay, we need to slow it down. Yeah. That's already a banger. That's how you know, guys. If you can slow it down and it sounds like an absolute heater, finish the song. Slowed. Super slowed. It wasn't even that slowed. Ultra slowed. I will say that's some of the most fun I have, is just slowing my own tracks down. Just released with all these versions. Yep, slowed, super slowed, ultra reverb. Yep. Yeah, funk tracks are great for that. And I think specifically with funk tracks, what feeds into that is that the slowed and sped up versions is what people will use for content. So they'll use it for their edits, they'll use it for whatever. And then you have people who discover the song through the edit of the slowed version and then go and look for it. And so for a lot of funk artists, they're like, either someone else is going to post this version for me, or I'm just going to post every song with 3 different versions, 4 different versions, so that I at least, at least that is going towards me and I recoup that revenue. And also people will just use my versions that I like of these slow tracks. I haven't released a sped up and slowed version of my album. Hey, hell yeah. If a distribution isn't going to cost you more anyway, you might as well. Yeah. Because the thing is, I think as artists, we've always known that like playing a song at a different speed has a unique effect. It completely changes the dynamic of the sound. Because tempo matters. Go figure. But it's interesting that like now this is something that in the last 5 years has really permeated into like the mainstream perception. It's like, cool, this song is nice, but where's the slowed version of it? Yeah, that song's fine, but like where's the sped up version of it? Like, you just have a huge amount of the audience that wants to consume it at a different tempo than what it was originally produced at. Like, regardless of what it is. I don't think it's the majority of the audience. I think in rare cases it's the majority of the audience. It depends also what people's first impression is. If people hear the original first, they're usually more attached to it as the original. But if the slowed version goes viral, that's the version that people get attached to. And then that's the one that ultimately ends up performing well. When you release a song, just do one version for each key. Yeah, literally. I mean, I do that with basically not even every song, but every single idea. Usually I will scroll it through a bunch of different, scroll up and down a couple semitones in each direction. Because that's how, for me, I find like the perfect key of the song. For me. And then you can still later have a slowed, sped up version, blah, blah, blah. Satisfy every single person guaranteed. Europe. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that is now all the IDs. Now we've heard all of them. All of them. And my voice is starting to feel I don't have enough water here. I need more liquids. I need more liquids. Look, my water bottle is empty. I know it's a Sprite, but it's had water in it for the last 2 weeks. My water bottle is empty. Oh my god. Okay, I think I'm gonna say that this is the end of the stream. I appreciate you guys sending in your music and also just like sitting here chatting with me, listening to me yap about music, because I really enjoyed that. I think I've only changed key for a track once in my life. Like, you mean after you've produced it? W stream? Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you popping by too and sending in something. Always nice to hear the Dilly Dalek sending in his splendid songs. W stream, thanks for the taps. The yaps. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I'm really glad you guys enjoyed it, because something that costs me very little energy to talk. I'm entering production stage. Yeah. No, I do it quite often. It's something I picked up from specifically Dinox. I remember watching some of his streams and then realizing how many times he would work on a beat, get bored of it, and then in order to retain his interest, or would just be like, I'm not feeling it for whatever reason, would change the key and be like, this feels better. Or it gives him a new idea, takes him in a different direction. And I've been using that ever since. I was like, oh, that's an option I have. It doesn't work for everybody, but it's worked out quite well for me. Okay. Thank you guys so much, and hopefully I'll see you guys again next week. Actually, next week is tough because I'll be traveling, so I might do a stream just before I leave. We'll see. Problem is I have to leave quite early in the morning on next Friday. But we'll figure it out. But then after that, it should be fine. So for sure on the 28th, we'll do a feedback stream. Do try to work on a different key, then put it back after a while. That works as well. I've done that too. Alrighty. Hope you guys have a good week. Goodbye.